Anti-intellectualism runs so much deeper than people not simply understanding or comprehending what's going on in the world, what's going on in the book that they're reading. It goes so much deeper than them just not being able to understand it, but it's rather them refusing to understand it. That's where that anti part comes in. It's also one of the reasons why I despise when people just simply reduce Trump supporters and MAGA and a majority of Republicans to just being uneducated. No, some of these people are extremely educated, and that's the problem. They know and they see exactly what's going on, and they know that's exactly what they want for the world because they benefit from that. These ultra rich, wealthy billionaires in America, they benefit from acquiring apps like TikTok and being able to promote their propaganda and censor everyone else that does not agree with them. That's exactly why we are in the position that we're in America, because people want to simply reduce it to people being uneducated. And again, some of these individuals are extremely educated, and that's how we got in this position in the first place. Recently, there was a girl that shared her opinion on the anti intellectualism that goes on in many of the book spaces and communities. And I didn't entirely disagree with what she said because she was not incorrect, at least not 100% incorrect, but she did deliver it in a way that won't be accepted by many. And then she also followed up her claim, her opinion with books that could also be categorized as the books that she is not wanting to be promoted. She's promoting books that coincide with what she just said that she dislikes about the book community. So it confuses a lot of people and it makes people think, rightfully so, like, where are you trying to go with this? What is your point in this video? What's the basis of your statement? Also, I'd like to point out that you can't simply reduce a genre down to promoting anti-intellectualism because of its genre. You can't do that with romance and speak from such a broad scope and lens that romance is detrimental to the book community as a whole. You must categorize it a specific way because romance is so much more than just smut. And I feel like a lot of people are trying to simultaneously call out romance, but they're really calling out smut. If you're going to do it with romance, then you're going to also have to do it with fantasy, because let's take The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang and James by Percival Everett, for example. You cannot refuse to read historical fiction like this and then also tell me that you can understand everything that goes on in this book. Because a lot of y'all are reading for just the vibes, and that also coincides with anti-intellectualism, whether you like to admit it or not. No, I'm not saying that you can't read for the vibes. You can't just enjoy reading to read. No, you do not have to read historical fiction all day to be a real reader. That's not what I'm saying at all. But what I'm saying is if you refuse to read books, not even just historical fiction, but books that are so educational to your mind, and they benefit you in more than just entertainment. Although this book was entertaining, yes, the comedic relief is also there, but it's so informative. You can't tell me that you refuse to read things like this, but you can understand this. I don't think that goes ever. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but I don't think that's right. Another form of anti-intellectualism is media literacy. When people are illiterate on the media, whether it's from a video or a blog post, whatever it may be, an Instagram story, when they don't even understand that, we've lost the plot, because we have people getting on the internet and thinking because they see a highly liked comment that that comment is correct. And I can easily debunk it with not even a Google search. Pull out the textbooks. Let's bring it back to the textbooks. But it's as simple as that. People surf the internet, they see a highly liked comment and they immediately like it and think that it's true because the masses accepted it, without the masses going to cross-reference that on different platforms. Just because you see something on Twitter or X does not mean that it's true. Go look at Instagram and it might be debunked. Go to YouTube and it might be debunked. Go to TikTok. Well, you would have been able to go to TikTok, but the US now owns it and the shit does not work. So I wouldn't trust anything on TikTok right now if I were you. But go to Google, go to Reddit, cross-reference all of your resources. We were taught this in middle school, elementary school even, to cite your sources, come back, and when you present this, be able to defend the reliability and the truth of this statement that you just put out based off of the quote you got from this source that you can't put on there because you didn't actually go to another source. You just believe someone's word of mouth, and we don't do that. We can have the anti-intellectualism conversation. I feel like I've said that word so many times in this video, like Jesus Christ, I need to find something else to say to reference y'all being uneducated or y'all refusing to educate yourself or being educated and not using that education for good. But I digress. I want to have this conversation, and I feel that we truly do need to have this conversation with all of us present. But this conversation will never succeed and gain enough traction to really be pushed to everyone if we don't bring up the facts and we just make videos and statements and accusations off of our feelings. You can't just blame someone that reads romance that they're promoting anti-intellectualism. There goes that word again. It's like buzzwords, Jesus Christ. But you can't blame it solely on them when you don't call out the fantasy readers that don't understand the fantasy that they're reading, because they will say books aren't political when that whole chapter was nothing but politics. You're reading about war, whether it be with dragons or humans, it's political. But again, I digress because y'all aren't ready for the real conversation yet. But when y'all are, come holla at me, Book Dude Kai. Yeah, peace and happy reading.